Okay, so we're back. Um, what we have on the guitar is if we down tune to a C, okay, and we want to play the cage shapes, the C shape's going to be A flat because it's two whole steps down. Two whole steps down. And by the way, from the fourth to the fifth is a whole step, not a half step. But there is a half step in between them. Whoa. Okay, so it's A flat, and then its fifth is, instead of G, we got a G-shaped E flat, and then the fourth, once again, is the E-shaped. But now instead of an E-shaped, I guess F, which would be up here, we got an E-shaped D flat. Okay, so these are important notes to know, keys to know, that the analog, is the key of A flat, because with this cello violin, the lowest note on the cello violin, well, the lowest note on the cello is the C. So if we're going, we'll see in the next charts what that means. Okay, you're in luck. We get to skip a chart ahead, and we're now looking at the most recent chart I finished this morning, which is a masterpiece, really. 452, caged for CFV, cello, fiddle, violin. Okay, so hey, does caged work on cello, fiddle, violin? Danged if I know. That's why I make these charts, to see if I can do that. Well, it took me a while to find out. What are we looking at here? We're wanting to do the Tri-Pentatonic. Okay, there's no doubt about it. Now, there's no guitar on here, and I don't want to start playing guitar Tri-Pentatonics. Tri-Pentatonics, we have many, many lessons on from last year, from previous seasons. Okay, is simply making the cage big enough so that you have the 1, the 5, 1, the 4, and the 5. So if I'm playing an F in E shape, right, it'd be E-shaped F. Okay, then a A-shaped B flat, and then we'd have, for the fifth of F, we got C. It's a nice C-shaped C. Now, how that B flat sneak into a little into our home open cage? Because we're in the key of F there. Okay, not the key of, so you get the B flat, you add that perfect fourth. All right, so what it boiled down to is we have to look at the cages. So here's our big long fretboard. This is the violin, P5 violin fretboard. Let's start at the top. Okay, it starts on root, and we can do the string shapes from here, which are double guitar string shapes. So it's going to be E, D, or is it? It's going to be R, E, and then D. See, R, E, and D are different, but we can loosely call this E. So it's still a double string shape, but we want them to overlap, and that was part of last time's lesson with the big buddies. The big buddies. Okay, so root 2, 3, 4, we can do the string shapes 2, 3, 4, and then up second string 5, 6, 7, root. Wait a minute, 5. Oh, I'm on guitar. I'm like, wait a minute, did I miss something? 5 string cello, fretted fiddle, fretted 5 string fiddle. By the way, they talk about 5 string fiddle, if I'm not mistaken, they add the lower string. So here we go. Root 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, root 2, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5. Little buddies here. 2, 3, 4, 5. whoops, 6, 7, root 2. Notice there's no tuning third to worry about. And then 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, one thing that makes this interesting is if you look where the half step is, oh, here's one. Well, here's another. So here's 2 half steps in a row right here. Okay, let's do that. 2 half steps in a row right there. And there's 2 half steps in a row right there. And this is half a half step in a row right there. I'd put money on it. Okay, again, we have them over here. Half step, half step, half step. You see, so that you can gain the pattern. Now there's 2 in a row there. And there was 2 in a row there too. So I was kind of wrong right there. Those are 2 in a row, 2 in a row, 2 in a row. So that's what we have. That'll help you put together the pattern. So you're no longer worrying about individual string shapes. You can look at where is that half step. See, I'm using those half steps, kind of targeting those half steps. But let's look at what's, if you want to talk about larger patterns, diatonic now. We're not at caged yet. Believe it or not, diatonic was easier, although I learned caged on guitar first. I first learned caged, the tri-pentatonics, like C, and then F, and then G, and then the diatonic. Okay, that's the pentatonic first. The diatonic's actually easier, but look at this now. Sure, we know how to do the pentatonic, but can you do the diatonic? Let's look at the G box. Here's a G-shaped C guitar now. Okay. Okay, G. Here's a root G chord. Now, I have what's called the S5G, because this is the G string shape, 6/7 root, and it goes. But watch this. If we just do the G string shape, 6/7 root, okay, G going to the D string shape, okay, going to the A string shape. Then we're working with the E string shape. We can do an S4E. So I call that the S4E, even though it's the E string shape to the C string shape to the G string shape to the D string shape. I just call it an S4E because it's easy. Half step, okay? And then switch the polarity, whole half, whole half. Okay, so that makes it easier. Could do the same thing with diatonics, but I've got something even better for the cello guitar, cello fretted fiddle. And it's called this pattern stack. Do we have it? Yes, we have it. Looks like my teeth, it's missing some modes. So anyway, but I love my teeth, and I don't, really have any problems with them. They work great, and I've been blessed, So maybe all those braces paid off. So we're running out of time on this particular segment, but we've got CFV, cello, fiddle, violin pattern stack. So that's it, the pattern stack. Just play the pattern stack. It's so easy. But that was a pentatonic scale. Wow. See how easy it is when you just follow the pentatonics? So you pretty much got right and left and all that stuff.